Hey guys, this is just a bit of a chatty video, but I wanted to update you. We are moving. So last year I did a video about how we were going to build a house. So March 2021, we bought some land and we were told by the developers and the real estate agent that it would be titled in May 2021 and then we could start building August 2021. Well, that still hasn't happened. We moved from our other house back in August and then we eventually sold that house in January. Just problems with the pandemic and lockdowns, and it was just so difficult. It was like the worst time to sell a house. But anyway, and we moved to a new suburb. We were like, okay, and we had a look at some houses, and you know, there was some 4-bedroom ones that we could get for just under 500,000. Wasn't the greatest block, but it was just under 500,000. Anyway, we have just been on a bit of a merry-go-round where we just we extended our lease. We only ever planned to rent for 2 years. We paid off our mortgage at our last house, so we just were here in the interim, just while we were getting our house built, if we were going down that track, and just checking if we enjoyed the suburb and the community here. So anyway, unfortunately the developer hasn't titled anyone in that section. We're in stage 3, so 1 and 2 haven't even been titled. And they started sending this out monthly emails, and each month it was just a bit of a stalling tactic. Anyway, in March we got an email that said, look, stage 3 won't even get titled until 2023. We're like, what? This is crazy. The cost of building's gone up in price, and originally it seemed to be a problem that they were saying to do with the sewerage, but I don't know, they still haven't dealt with it and it's nearly been a year. So I don't know if there's more going on behind the scenes. But anyway, so March we decided this is crazy. We can't keep doing this. We're just waiting and waiting for it to get titled. In the meantime, we're paying $500 a week in rent, and we just hadn't expected this. As in, if you saw a video I did recently, I shared how we make money at home. And so by having that financial freedom, Dave was actually able to change from his professional job to an apprenticeship. So $500 a week in rent for us now is a lot of money. So it was about that time we thought, let's have a look around in the suburb and see if we can find houses that we want. Well, a similar house to the one we saw a couple of years ago has jumped by 250,000. So then we're like, you know what, this is the market we're in. That's kind of what we've got to pay. So we had a look at a few houses and some of them are just going way too high. But our idea was that if we can't build, maybe we could buy a house that's under 2 years old. Maybe we won't actually build on the land that we've got a deposit on. Well, I think the other 80 people in the estate had a very similar idea. So prices have just jumped so much. So then we were like, well, what about if we go to a different suburb? And we're waiting to find out if our daughter gets into school. And we looked at a couple of suburbs away and we're like, you know what, the houses here are like 150,000 cheaper. Maybe we go there. But unfortunately, I was like, I cannot do this drive every day for school, twice a day. I just cannot do this. So we're like, ugh, okay, won't do that. So then we had been talking to a mortgage broker and he said we could get about 240,000. But if I gave up my credit card, which I just pay like a bill, so I don't have any credit card debt, we could get over 300,000. Well, we thought, do you know what? Maybe with that, we'll just combine our money together and just buy a very expensive house. Anyway, when it came down to it, the mortgage broker said, actually, you guys don't earn enough money. You cannot get a mortgage. We're like, what? So then we're like, okay, well, how about we buy a 3-bedroom house? And I know it sounds crazy, but people have done it, you know, just because the kids have their own room, they could share a room, you know, like it's not unreasonable. People have done it in years gone by. So we looked at a 3-bedder and they wanted too much money. We put in an offer, they declined it. The real estate agent said, look, give me 24 hours. I'll see if I can get it through. They still didn't accept it. They came to the middle and we're like, no. Thankfully, on that exact day that we'd gone to look at the house, a house popped up and it has a shed. And honestly, I'd heard that this house was coming on the market, but I just didn't think it would be in our price range because we couldn't get a mortgage and how are we going to afford this house? Well, anyway, we're just kind of waiting to see what's going on with the 3-bedder. Eventually, they're like, no, we're not doing it. I said, no worries, all the very best. We're not interested anymore. And I contacted the other real estate agent in the middle of the week. So it'd only been listed 2 days. And I said, can you please send me through the section 32? I'd like to have a look at that. And so we had a look at it. We went in on the Saturday, looked around the open for inspection. The kids were happy. I was happy. When you see the pantry, you'll see why I was happy. Dave's got a shed, kids have got a backyard, they've got their own room. It's been built within the last 2 years and it's on a fantastic street. So this is the second house that I've been involved in buying. Dave has bought 3. So I kind of get how real estate agents work, and being from the other side when you're selling as well. Yeah, it's interesting to see what they say to buyers compared to what they say to you that the neighbours hear. But anyway, we decided on a price before we went there, and then we thought, do you know what? Maybe let's drop it down 5 just so it gives us leeway. Like, it's really at our top that we can afford to pay. So I just don't want to go in with our best first. But at the same time, it was a very busy open for inspection. There was serious buyers that we had seen in other houses that eventually we're going to get ready to pull the pin. So I offered 5,000 less and we left it with him. And then there was another house that we had been looking at, and when I got home I checked to see, and it was the same real estate agent. I said, look Dave, we've got to go, we've just got to go and play a bit of a game here and just show that we're interested in this. And now this one was significantly cheaper. It was nearly $100,000 cheaper. So we went in there, and funnily enough, it was the same real estate agent. It wasn't his property, but he had come to that because he's part of that same brand. So we had a bit of a look around and we're like, oh, can we make it work? And to be honest, we didn't really want to make it work. It was a real dark, dingy house, and we just weren't really into it. But we're getting to the stage where we really needed a house, and you know, when the real estate agents ask what you like about the house, I said, well, it's that much cheaper than the other one. And he was like, oh, yep. So later that afternoon, he called me back and he said, look, we can do this settlement date for you, but I think I need another 5 or 7 grand to get you over the line. I said, fantastic, you can have another 5. We're paying in cash. We cannot go anymore. That's it. And 5 minutes later, he said, yep, you've got the house. Woohoo! So we are moving to a house in August. I am so excited. I will show you, we have already started packing. I'm doing it quite slowly. I'm very much pacing myself, and I'm just keeping the weights extremely low. So it's got to be like grocery bag weight. When we move, I'll be 32 weeks pregnant. So I will just very much be having the little items, you know, carrying the kids' clothes and stuff like that. Dave and a mate will organize the truck. We'll move ourselves. And then we're thinking with our rental, I'm going to try and clean things as we go, but I think we're going to get an end of lease clean. So I've already spoken to the real estate agent about getting the same cleaners they use so that we get our bond back. I'm happy to pay them, but I want to use a cleaner that they are happy with so we don't have to do it again. We are so excited. It's a 4-bedroom house. And like I said, Dave's got a shed, which he is stoked about. So, wow, what a journey. To say it's been hard would be an understatement. It has been so stressful. And the money has been so stressful. We've always invested and saved in the share market, and we're going to take out the money in the new financial year because I'll be on maternity leave, so I won't be making that much. And unfortunately, the share market just went boop. And so I was one of those people after the long weekend sitting there going, all right, we've just got to sell. We've just got to sell before it drops more. You know, it's a great time for buying in the share market, not a great time for selling. But anyway, I just wanted to update you because you're going to see a lot of videos. I'm going to be doing a lot of packing and organizing, and I am so excited to be in the new house. We will be well and truly in the new house before the baby arrives, which is just going to be special. So thanks heaps for watching, guys. Any questions, please leave them below. I think it's important to have real talk about money. I can't be too specific or you just find the house. I can't be too specific for our privacy. I wanted to share this with you in the hope that it will inspire you guys. Like, you can pay off your mortgages. It's hard work, but the freedom it gives you to do it means that you do have financial freedom. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Bye.